Hello and welcome to the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, and in today's video I'm going to give you a few reasons as to why you should consider actually picking this vehicle up. So to do that, we're going to begin with the history of the Mercedes. So the Mercedes SLS is a Gran Turismo that was produced by Mercedes AMG from 2010 to 2014. Now this Mercedes is actually the successor to the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, which was just absolutely bonkers and still one of the most iconic Mercedes to date. Now the SLS has also been dubbed as a spiritual successor to the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing by Mercedes themselves, because the Mercedes SLS features the iconic gullwing doors just like the 300 SL. Now SLS actually stands for Super Light Sports. Well, that's just in English. So Super Light Sports, and that's actually because the Mercedes SLS is actually lighter than the Mercedes SLR, and when you put the two on track, well, you'll actually find out behind the wheels of normal drivers as well as race car drivers that the Mercedes SLS is actually faster than the SLR. And that really comes down to the fact that the Mercedes SLS weighs more than 100 kgs less than the Mercedes SLR. Now it wasn't only the fact that the SLS was light that made it fast. The SLS also featured a 6.2 liter V8, which AMG dubbed the world's most powerful naturally aspirated production series engine ever produced, which simply isn't true, because the Dodge Viper's V10 produced 640 brake horsepower, where the SLS only produced 563. And there are a lot more engines that have produced a lot more power ever since and even before. Back to the SLS with a fun fact. Now the SLS is actually the first Mercedes-Benz automobile designed and built from scratch entirely by AMG. Now, how does all of this feel in Gran Turismo 7? Well, when it comes to the handling of the SLS, it's a lot rougher and more rugged than the AMG that is the actual successor to the SLS. The AMG GT is just a more refined version of the SLS. And when you come to actually taking the SLS around circuit, well, when it comes to acceleration, the minute you put your foot down, the throttle response is incredibly crisp. With it having no superchargers, no turbochargers, being naturally aspirated is such a huge advantage, because no matter where you are in the rev range, you have access to all of the power. And the SLS has a really good power band where it just carries the power throughout. No matter where you go in the rev range, there's power regardless. There's no lag or anything like that. And then when it comes to braking and stopping, well, the brakes on the SLS standard are really exceptional. It slows the vehicle down enough. I mean, look, you're not stopping, coming to a dead halt every time you brake, but it's sufficient enough to get the car around some corners. Now standard, the vehicle comes with sports hard tires, which acts and gives sufficient grip and handling to actually get you around corners in the SLS. But if you do run the vehicle with no traction control, well, you're gonna be in for a fun time, because no traction control in this 560 brake horsepower SLS means those rear wheels are gonna light up and you are gonna be able to slide this vehicle, which is always just a bit of fun and a bit of joy added to your day. Now the SLS overall in its standard form is really good, and you can actually use it in a lot of races. Now the SLS costs 360,000 credits from Brand Central in the AMG dealer. Now you can actually pick this vehicle up for free by finishing in third or better in the Nürburgring Schwarzwald League. I'm gonna throw a picture up on screen right now because I feel like I just butchered that name, so I do apologize for that. And the SLS is an exceptional vehicle even in its standard form, but when it comes to upgrading, it just gets so much better. Now when it comes to upgrading the vehicle, okay, you don't have that many parts. Okay, you have a ton of parts, but when it comes to like ultimate parts, for example, it's not gonna give you insane amounts of parts like with the AMG GTs. So when it comes to the SLS, well, you have titanium connecting rods and pistons, as well as a carbon propeller shaft that you can upgrade under the ultimate section. And an interesting thing, the SLS actually comes standard already with a carbon propeller shaft, so we just basically upgrading the one we already have. Then we can go in and just add the regular parts that we usually add when we fully upgrade a vehicle, and that's gonna bring the overall performance of the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG to 924 brake horsepower with a weight of 1198 kgs, just under that 1200 kg mark. So those figures are nothing to sleep on, especially once we add a wide body kit and aero parts as well. It's just gonna make the vehicle go a lot faster around corners. Now, running a vehicle with no traction control on, but with racing softs on, it really just completely changes it from standard. Now you still get that raw experience where the vehicle is gonna wanna spin and you need to control it, but if you are actually careful with how you drive this vehicle, you can set absolutely insane lap times. Around Kyoto Driving Park, I set lap times around the 1 minute 28 mark, and for any vehicle that is really impressive. Now, considering this car is not the newest of the fleet, there are a lot more newer vehicles. I mean, the Mercedes-Benz AMG, the successor for this vehicle, I also ran around circuit, and it was actually a bit slower. And by a bit, I mean the vehicle ran what, 4 seconds, almost 3 seconds slower than the Mercedes-Benz SLS. And now, okay, I was testing out the Mercedes AMG GTR. I didn't use the Black Series model, and that's simply because it's like comparing apples to oranges. The Black Series is the ultimate version of that sports car, and because we don't have the SLS Black Series in the game, I didn't compare the Black Series. I'm not comparing a Black Series to a standard version. So the Mercedes AMG GTR around Kyoto Driving Park, I set a lap time of 1 minute 32.9. That is so much slower compared to the SLS. So the SLS is a lot more because the AMG GTR costs 180,000 credits, but when it comes to upgrading the vehicle, well, you're spending almost $500,000 on stage 5 weight reduction. So once you fully upgrade the AMG GTR, you're still gonna be at roughly the same price as the SLS, and the SLS is just gonna offer you more performance and just a better overall experience. In my opinion, the AMG GTR is more of a refined version of the SLS. If you wanna really experience a real AMG vehicle, well, the SLS is the purest form of that. So the Mercedes-Benz AMG SLS, an insanely good vehicle, great when it comes to track racing, especially if you want to use it in the hypercar parade. This vehicle will actually excel. So the Mercedes-Benz AMG SLS, phenomenal vehicle with great looks, performance, handling, and just overall a great vehicle. So if you guys did want to enjoy this video, well, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next GT7 video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.